Welcome or welcome back. Okay, but for real though, I was supposed to film a spend a day with me before. Like I was supposed to start filming before I went to church this morning. But I went to church with Tavy.
Hey.
And I gotta go back to church for U City, which is where I'm with middle school and high school students, and I work with high school girls, which is where I talk to them about what they're going through. God, obviously, we talk about the Bible, we talk about certain scriptures with them, and just really letting them know that we're there for them. So I have to go back to that in a little bit. But for right now, I'm sitting with Tavy and we're just talking and chilling, and she's eating, but I'm not eating right now because they have food at U City, so I'm gonna eat that when I go.
Tearing up this food.
The curry chicken is curry chicken.
It's curry chicken.
And the mac and cheese is mac and cheese.
Real good.
Yeah. From Legacy. Just go get you one of them.
Go get you one of them. Just in my dorm. You know.
It really is good though. Like that. You know how you tell somebody you don't want none, or like you say, "Oh, I'm not gonna get no food," and then you taste their food and you be like, "Dang, I should have got some." It's alright though, because I'm like,
it's okay.
That's funny.
It's good, ain't it? I know it's good. We both know it's good.
You're not right. We just got from church and you acting like that.
I didn't do nothing but eat. Praise the Lord. Hallelujah.
I'm playing. But we're probably going to be in here, make some TikToks, talk. She eating, as you can see. I don't know. I don't know if I'm going to be able to, like, record during U City just because I'll be doing stuff. But we'll see. And usually after U City, I go home. So, and it'd be like, okay, U City is from 5 to 7. I usually don't get out there until like 7:30. And then I get home by like 8. And then I just kind of call it a night. But we're going to see how the day goes. Sometimes we go skating, but I'm not going skating tonight. I'm not. Fun fact. I cannot skate. I can skate a little bit, but these skaters around here, they take it very seriously.
You ever seen them videos of them doing it like in Atlanta or something? Like, I want to do that. I want to learn how to do that.
Take me bowling. Don't take me skating, okay? Because take me bowling. Don't take me skating because I'm gonna be in the same spot. You know, I'm just gonna stand there. I can skate a little bit. Like, I'm good enough to go around a little circle, you know, a couple times. But after that, I be tired of going in circles. So it's like, I want to learn how to do like the little spins and stuff and all the little tricks. But I'm scared I'm gonna fall. I don't want to be on the floor. I just don't. I'm not trying to be on the ground. So I don't know what else to talk about. Church was really good today. She talked about faith. She talked about love.
Yeah, and not.
I don't have my notes are on my phone, y'all, so I can't go back to my notes right now.
Let's go back to mine, y'all.
Okay, church notes.
Church notes. So she talked about, love and the definition of love in 1 Corinthians. How it's hard to believe like love when all you've been believing is lies.
Because God is truth.
Church is real good today.
Real good. Always good.
Really was speaking.
Go watch Forward City Church on YouTube.
Definitely do that.
If you can't go in person, go watch it.
Because you can watch the sermon online. But also, like, she really was just talking about, like, don't let your past define you. Because God is not going to use your past to get you. Like, He loves you.
He loves you regardless.
I love you who you are.
Regardless. And God can find you anywhere.
Yeah.
Anywhere
literally,
He wants to. He knows how to reach you.
And the fact that you worship from a place of like freedom and victory, not for a feeling, or not for freedom, not for victory. Like, you worship for a reason. I also talked about that the world or the enemy may use your past and your skeletons against you, but God does not. So,
Amen.
Amen. Amen.
Amen.
Also the dream. You could dream beyond that. I could dream beyond where I currently am. and that God's gonna give you provisions for your vision. So
okay, let's talk about that. So dreaming beyond. I feel like with God, obviously, you have to have faith because you already can't see God physically, right?
That's true.
So you already have to believe in Him without seeing Him, right? So, and honestly, I was kind of struggling with this, with my faith a little bit, but I know that God has been teaching me how to have faith.
Yeah.
Like, I have a lot of stuff that I want, and I have a lot of stuff that I've dreamed about, and I feel like I have a lot of stuff that God has shown me. And I was just talking to my mom about it last night. Like, I see all this stuff, but I don't see how I'm going to get there. Like, I don't see how that's going to happen. Like, God, you mean to tell me I'm going to have this, and this?
Right.
Why
like,
don't it look like that?
There?
Like, do you see where I'm at right now?
And that's how I be feeling too. And the crazy thing about me and Maya will be going through the same thing. Like, we may not talk for a little bit, like, just because.
And then when we do talk, it's like, we're just going through that.
It's like,
we're able to help each other. Like, once we, like,
definitely.
Or if, like, I call her and she telling me about something that she's been going through. And then I'm like, that's crazy. I just got over that like, last week.
Or she told me something, I'm just like, oh, I feel you. Like, I just was going through that. So, it's just
important to have people that you can talk to, too.
But definitely, like, what you were saying, like, even in college now, like, I was thinking to myself, like, God, like, I got 3 more years. Like, this is only my 2nd semester of college, and I still got some more to go. Like, it's going to be hard, but, like, you know, you got to push to get there, and I know God going to help me.
Yeah.
You know, regardless. Because there's people.
This a mukbang, but
really
I don't got
a mukbang for me.
A mukbang, but I don't got no food.
I mean,
I'm mukbanging off the word of the Lord.
The
faith is just like, dang. But then when you see God do it,
you be like, ooh.
You be like, God, what? You did that for real?
Like, you really made this come true. Like,
you're really like in awe when God shows you Himself, and He'll put you through certain things so that He can show you who He is.
Oh, heavy on it. When I tell you God will push you through stuff, because I feel like me especially, I'm very stubborn. I'm very hard-headed. So when I be going through stuff or I be whatever, and He hit me in the face with I done told you about this. I'm like, dang, like, I should listen to last time, because now look at me in the same predicament again. And it, like, I really learned that. Even, like, last night, like, I was thinking, I was like, wow, like, I really am in the same predicament, like, I've been in. Like, I gotta stop doing this. Like, I have to stop, because if I keep doing this and not listening and going through the same stuff over and over again, it's not gonna help me.
And then it's like, it kind of gets harder, too, when you're really, like, when you get to a place of asking God about everything in your life. Like, I'm to a point where I ask God, should I go here today, or should I stay home? Should I do this or should I do that? Because at the end of the day, He's the only one that knows what's on the outside of my door when I walk outside.
Right.
So, in July of 2022, I stopped working. Not because like I just wanted to stop working, but because I was like asking God, like, what do I do? And I was like, God, how I'm gonna do this, and this without having a job? Like, how am I gonna like get what I need? And He told me to have faith. And at that time, I'm not going to say I didn't have faith, but I don't think I really knew what faith was at the time, really, like, and truly. And now I know. Now I know.
Like, I'm really finna give all this up.
Yeah, like he had to teach me, like, okay, this is what faith is. And He took the things that I valued in order to show me what He valued, which is me.
I see, like for me, I feel like my journey more been a love. Like, loving myself, learning how people love me and correctly. Yeah. And loving others. That really been my journey. Self-love and going through my journeys of like I done told you, you better stop. Like, you're not going to get nothing beneficial out of this situation. And this is not the person for you. Or you shouldn't be acting like this or putting yourself on this level for this. So it's really just been like a lesson learned.
I've definitely went through, or am going through still, a self-love thing too, because even when I stopped working and stuff, God pointed out to me that I didn't love myself. And I was like,
definitely,
what you talking about? I do love myself. No. Like, I was really trying to tell myself
like,
that I did.
Like,
but then I realized, like, dang, I don't really do nothing for myself. Like, I don't really. Right. And He really had me just take time with myself, for myself, like, and spend more time with Him. And So I haven't been working. I haven't been, but he gave me vision after I started working. He gave me vision to do other things. And even though I may not have everything I want, I still have everything I need. But at the same time, he's showing me have faith to believe what I showed you. If I showed it to you, I'm going to make a way for you to get there. I'm going to make a way for you to have those things that I showed you, because he's a God that does not lie. So, therefore, it's not, I promise you, it's not easy. I promise
it's
you,
not.
It's not easy. Like,
as people,
all.
as us being at, like, even two different ways in our journey, and two different, like, I guess you say, further along on our journeys, like, we two different people. Honestly, me and Maya are the same, but we very different at the same time. Like, our journeys are a lot different. So, like, don't look at somebody else and be like, well, they're doing this and I'm doing this. Like, how's it the same? Or don't look at somebody else and be like, well, she's more far along, he's more far along. I don't know how I could get there. You can get there.
I had to learn, too, that you have to be okay with people being in different seasons of their life.
Yeah.
Like,
me too.
You're not always going to be in the same season as everybody around you. They have certain things going on that you don't have going on. And I have certain things going on that she doesn't have going on, and vice versa. So it's like, you really have to be okay with yourself.
You do.
And when you find yourself okay with yourself, it's like,
no.
It's really good.
And then it's like, I feel like once you feel that peace, you want to keep feeling that peace.
Yes.
Because I, like, myself, has, like, for example, like, I write in a journal. So, like, writing in my journal or just, like, doing stuff, like, you feel that peace of, like, wow, like, I'm fine by myself. I can do whatever. Yes. So when you lose that peace, you're going to do everything you can to get it back. Because it's just like,
y'all, I'm by myself so much. Like, I used to be by myself a lot. Mm-hmm. But when I didn't really... I'm an introvert, so I kind of like being by myself at times. But then sometimes I want to be around people. Mm-hmm. But now I value my peace so much, and I'm like, y'all, I'm going home. I don't even want to go.
Like, I don't want to be around this no more.
Like, it's just certain stuff that if it bothers me, I'm not going to be around it. Because usually I would compromise and I would be around stuff that I didn't really like, or I'll sit there and not say anything. But it's like, now, okay, I'm taking myself out of this because I don't want nothing to do with it. So, and it's not me being mean, but it's me taking care of myself.
Right. And I feel
it's
like
me taking care of my mind.
I've always been a person sometimes, like, I don't want to say anything. It's just like, I'm just going to sit there and be quiet. And you got to learn sometimes, like, you need to say something.
But loving yourself is speaking up.
Exactly. So it's like,
you got to teach people how to treat you.
Exactly. So that's why a part of me, I'm just like, I'm still learning. Like, I'm still learning that. Like, I need to speak up. Because then I'll be like to myself, like, well, I just let this happen when I didn't even want it to happen. Or I'm letting people treat me like this and I'm not even speaking up. Like I'll speak up about certain things, but it's like I don't speak up about everything because I just feel like I'll just isolate myself and just be like, okay, forget it. I don't want to talk about it anymore. Like, I'm talking to myself, like, I'll go.
I had to, but see, okay, I had to learn, and I'm still learning because, you never know everything.
Right.
But I had to learn, too, to give everything to God. Because I'm also that type of person that if something's wrong or, let's say I'm going through something, like, mentally, like, I would keep everything to myself and try to fix every little thing myself, and it only make me worse. Like, or try to isolate myself, and then when I isolate myself, I just keep thinking on thought, until it gets bad. So for me, now what I do is I just go in my room. I go by myself, but I'm not by myself. I'm with God.
Right.
Like, I'm alone with God. Like, I go in my room, and either I'm writing or I'm just talking out loud.
Right.
Just literally sitting on my bed, just talking out loud like God. And sometimes it's not words. Sometimes it's tears.
No, heavy on the tears.
But God understands your tears because He made you.
No, literally. And I feel like there's been times I've, like, maybe even in this very room, like, in the study room, like, there's been times I've just gone away from a situation just to be by myself and just cry because it's like, I don't know what to do. I don't know what to feel. I don't know why this keeps happening. I don't know why I keep having these thoughts, or, like, why I keep doing the same things over and over, not learning my lesson. Because it's like you'll have a way of, like, okay, you think everything's good, you think everything's fine, and you think things have changed or you have changed, but nothing has changed. Like, you didn't really learn a lesson. I feel like I've learned, and I feel like learning that is like being okay alone, because, like, being alone doesn't mean you're lonely. It really just means, like, you're taking time to yourself. Like, it's okay to be alone. And that's, I feel like being
alone.
that.
Being alone doesn't
mean, it doesn't. Like, being alone doesn't mean you're lonely. Like, because I've been alone like in my room or in the study room or just time to myself. It's just like sometimes you need to take a break.
Sometimes I just need me.
I just need me. Like
I don't.
And sometimes even being around people all the time, it's just like, okay, y'all are doing a lot.
For me, it's like I've learned what love is through God, though.
Yeah.
Like, of course you can find love in other people. Of course you can.
But that shouldn't be the first way you look.
But I've learned that God knows me better than anybody. Like, I can go in my room and God knows exactly what I need at that moment. He knows exactly how to talk to me. He knows exactly how to reach me. Without me talking. Whereas with somebody, a person, I have to actually tell them what's wrong instead of them knowing. And it's like, I find comfort in knowing that God already knows.
Right.
God already knows, and He already knows how to reach me. He already knows how to talk to me. Like, I don't have to explain to Him how I want to be treated or how I think I should be treated, or
It's like God knows. Dang. I feel like that's the one thing that's like, it's like, that God knows.
But I realized that, okay, let's take it here.
Okay.
I realized that with men, like with relationships, now I look for God. Like, I'm not saying, because you're not going to find a perfect person, like somebody that's never going to do any wrong, never going to, hurt your feelings or whatever. But now, I feel like I always kind of knew what I wanted, but now it's like, I want somebody that's going to understand me. Like, I don't want to have to act different. I just want to be able to be myself, and
that's what you should require. Like, that's what should happen.
Yeah, because I feel like a lot of in the past, you know me. Like, I've always been like,
right.
I don't do that.
Right.
I don't do that. So in the past, I would try to change myself for dudes just because for the attention. Like, dang, he giving me attention, so I'm gonna just do whatever he.
Right.
And I really used to be like that. Like, no lie, y'all. I wasn't out here doing everything now, but I'm saying, like, I would change little stuff about myself just so I could be liked. Now, bye.
As it should be.
Bye.
And I feel like, not saying I haven't learned that. Like, I have, because there's times where I'm just like, I don't get what I can do in this situation. There's nothing I can do. Like, there's nothing, nowhere this can go, But like okay, I've talked to God, obviously, or whatever. So, like, I've learned just experience of, like, okay, like, I gotta learn to set this boundary. I've learned to keep this boundary. Because then, like...
And they'll test you, too.
Really? You sure? Because when you're in, like, situations where it's, like, you have failed that boundary, it makes you feel regretful. Real regretful. You feel... So, like, wow, like, I know I should have done that. I know I could have done more to stop that. Or I know I didn't have to talk to that dude. Or, like, it's like a feeling of just, like, what am I doing? Like, it's just a bad feeling. So, like, when you sit down and, like, talk to God about it, like, God, like, I don't know what's going on. I don't know why I just did that. Like, it's really just like it's a feeling of, like, He knows, but it's like, He's like, okay, when you learned your lesson, but you need to start doing better. Because it's not going to keep helping you.
Yeah. Because you'll keep putting yourself in a cycle of the same things.
The same predicament, the same feeling.
And you feel worse every time. Like,
worse. Like,
it's not worth it. God is good. Like, even when it don't seem like it's going to work out, even when it doesn't seem like... Because recently, I've been, like, honestly, I've been really like, God, it's not going to happen.
Right.
You know what? Like, I just don't even... And it's like, I was really in a place of, honestly, I wasn't really trusting Him. And it gets like that sometimes. But then I realized, like, all I gotta do is talk to Him. And literally the other night, I just opened my journal and I was just honest with Him. Like, just honest. Like, God, I don't know if I was really like, I don't know if I believe, but I'm having trouble believing. Just telling Him facts because He already know at this point of lying and going in my journal like, oh my gosh, I know you're going to do it. Because at the time I was feeling like you're not going to do it.
Yeah. So, and I feel like those moments are meant to happen. Because it's like, there's times it's like, God, like, I really need you to help me. Like, you ain't, like, where you at, bro?
Like, come on, man. Like
come on, man. Like, the way I be writing my journal or I be, like, talking to myself, I'll be talking like he just my friend, for real. I be like, man, I can't do this no more.
Right?
Like,
In my
can't do
journal,
this.
hold on. In my journal, I literally, it ain't, sometimes I do
Sometimes
like
it's
formal prayers,
yeah.
like, you know.
Mm-hmm.
But sometimes it's like,
but
man.
I close everything in my journal with like sometimes I'm just like explaining what's going on, but most of the time in my journal I close everything with in Jesus' name.
Yeah,
I pray, man. Like
I close everything with that too.
Mm-hmm.
But when I be starting it, sometimes I be like, you know what?
I be like, so today is this happened.
So
this reminds me. I saw a video that was basically like God looks at stuff as life and death. He looks at stuff as like what brings you closer to him, like closeness and farness. And I was watching a video, and like I was watching the dude saying the video, and he basically was like you may not even know what a blessing is. Like you may be asking for a blessing, right? But that blessing's gonna make you further from God. So you in a hard situation, feeling a type of way, but God has put you through that hardship because it's brought you closer to Him.
That's true, because like when sometimes we pray for stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And we get it,
and then it's like we forget about God. So it's like He putting you through this hardship, through this feeling, through this and that, because you need Him. Yeah. You're close to Him.
That's good, because when I first started working, like stopped working and stuff, I was like, God, how? You know, like how am I gonna do this? You done took, I don't got nothing.
Right.
So, and I was like, why are you like letting it be this way and stuff like this? And He told me, because I want you to know it was me when it happens. Like, I want you to know that when you get what I showed you, I want you to know it was me that made it happen and not you. Because sometimes we can have, like, if I was to have everything I wanted right now, everything, I would think it was me that was doing all this.
Exactly.
And I wouldn't give Him no glory.
And I feel like,
but this way, He gets all the glory.
I feel like, even like, I be having problems with this. Like, sometimes, like, I be going through, like, moments where I'm just like, oh, I think I got it. Like, you know, like, you be having your mindset, oh, I think I got it all by myself. Something happen, everything fall apart.
God, please.
God, please. Like, I'm sorry.
And that's so bad.
And that's so bad. Because it's like, you're going to God as a genie. I wrote that in my journal one time. I was like, you're not a genie. And I'm so sorry to be treating you like that. Because I feel like a lot of people do treat God as a genie. Like, oh, grant me this blessing, grant me this miracle, and I'll do this. Or things will get better.
I know I did this, but just go ahead and give me out of it.
Right.
It's like,
but you're not still praising Him 7 times a week. Like, you want to go to church on Sunday, and then when Monday comes, you don't got nothing to say. How that makes sense? Like, it don't. And I can't stand when people, like, because I ain't going to sit here like I'm perfect, because I'm not. I know I've done something. I know I messed up and gone back and forth on my journey, like 5 steps back, 3 steps. You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, I know I have to get through this, like, this journey that He's calling me to and go through these hardships, because I learned, like, what makes me, like, uncomfortable or I'm feeling low is something that's going to bring something great on the outcome. Because it's like, I have to go through all this to, like, you know, get my testimony for, like, what's going on.
Yep.
So
that's what it's like. I'm excited for my testimony now. Like, seeing all the stuff that just makes it look like nothing's going to happen for me. Or, like, seeing all the stuff that just makes it look like, dang, that's an obstacle. And you, like, it seems like I can't get over it. When I get over it, I'm not going to stop talking. I'm telling everybody about God. I'm telling everybody. And I already tell everybody about God. But when it happens, oh, y'all gonna hear this mouth. Y'all gonna hear me. Y'all gonna hear me talk about what God did for me.
And that's how it should be, though.
Because I understand now.
Because there's also still people that sit here, go to church, and want to pretend like ain't nothing wrong. Ain't like, or like they praise God every day, or like you talk to God every day. I understand you might fall off, but don't sit here and act like, I don't like when people act like they're better than people.
Yeah.
I don't like when people sit here and act like they're better than people, or like, because I'm higher in my journey than you, I'm better than you, or I know more than you. Somebody that's not saved at all can teach you way more. God will use the right people to show you the right lesson. Like, like, for real.
And that's why it's like,
you can't
like,
be judging people.
It is important to talk about what you go through. I feel like a lot of Christians don't talk about what they go through. And that's what made people not want to, you know, because it seemed like, and I'm not saying everybody, but to some people, it can make it seem like, dang, oh, you don't ever go through nothing. You just think you all this in the bag of chips. But that's why I'm trying to get more comfortable talking about, you know, me going through stuff with not having no job and having to trust God and stuff. Because I want people to know that it's not all cake and ice cream all the time.
It's not all pizza.
I still love God, and I'm still gonna do this, and I'm still gonna live for Him. But I want people to know too that I go through times where I don't feel like reading my Bible. I don't feel like praying. I don't feel like being around people. I don't feel like going to church today. And it's been times like that, multiple times, but it's okay. And on the times where I didn't feel like going to church, I went to church still, and I got a word that I needed. Like, I went to church one day, and like one morning I woke up, I was like, I'm not going. I was like, I'm not going. I was like, bro, but I gotta go. I gotta go. I went, and I tried to sit like closer to the back of the church, and then somebody saw me that I knew, and he was like, come sit with me. And he was at the front. And when I tell you, the pastor that day, and it wasn't even our pastor, it was a pastor from another church that was coming to preach that day. He was talking to me. I was crying on the front row, like crying. I was like, God, what?
I always believed in God, and I still, of course, believe in God. But what really changed for me was, like, honestly, going to your church. Like, it really was like a feeling. Like, I see it firsthand. Like, I feel it firsthand. And I like the fact that I can go to your church with some jeans on and call it a day and still praise the Lord, because it's like a lot of people expect expectations, but it's like not everybody is there yet.
Yeah.
And even today with the pastor speaking, she's like, I did not grow up in the church. She was like, I didn't grow up this way.
Yeah.
I had to learn this. I had to, like, believe and see it myself, you know? And I feel like that's a lot of people.
Yeah.
The first time I went, she, like, warned me. She's like, just so you know, it's different. It's a different church. Like, it's different.
I said that?
You did. Because you was like, it's different. Like, they're welcoming you. Like,
oh, yeah. I was.
Yeah, like, she was
if
like,
you know Forward City.
She was bracing me.
If you know Forward City.
Right.
Y'all know when, as soon as you walk up, it's people... welcome, like outside, like, and I love it. So I was telling her, like,
I loved it, but like she knew I wasn't used to that, and that wasn't what we used to back home, like where we're from. So it's like she was like, just so you know, like, like there's gonna be people outside. They're gonna be waiting and waving you in your face, like. And then she had told me, she's like, you don't have to wear no dressing, like, you don't gotta dress up. I said, what? Like, kind of shocked, like. Jeans to church?
Jeans?
It's crazy. Because I grew up, okay, I need to put a dress on, I need to put some jumpsuit, pantsuit, I need to put something on.
Yeah.
And so, like, coming to her church, and I was like, okay, that's different. I've seen a lot, you know, younger people there, like, people that's speaking to me. And when I tell you that word spoke to me, I said, oh, goodness. Like,
oh,
goodness.
No, and then I told you too, like, all right, now we're gonna be jumping up and down.
No, she told me too. She's like, they're gonna be jumping, they're gonna be screaming. But then I feel like that's just many different people praise different ways. So like, somebody might be crying, somebody might be on the floor, somebody be screaming, running around. Another person might just be silent. You never know. So come to a church is definitely a different atmosphere, bigger than my church, obviously back home. And it definitely was something different. I feel like it wasn't no judgment. It wasn't like a attack. I feel like, if that makes sense. It was like a welcoming and feeling of God. Like you felt it. Like,
it's just good to hear where you're at right now, and like it's good to hear that you know that you found God for yourself, and that you're wanting to go on that journey for yourself. That's what it's like. I'm actually like really happy, because that's what I wanted.
Right. Like, you know, it wasn't like a forced feeling, or somebody's like coming at you or making you believe a way. You literally feel God when you're there. So it's definitely what's changing for me. I was like, wow. Like,
and then, was this the first time you came to church me, or the second time when we went to Legacy?
I think it was the first. It was the first
in City.
Hold on. My God!
Hold on.
Yo.
So listen. Let me tell my part first.
Okay, tell your part first.
So
I think it might be the first time.
I had already been thinking about like bringing Tavy to church with me. I'm like, okay, she in college near me. Like, why can't she, like, you know, ask her if she want to come to church? And I had been praying about it before I even asked you, for real. I was praying about it, and I was like, God, you know, I really just want you to have an encounter with her. Like, you know, show her you for herself. Like, I didn't want you to be like, I didn't want to make it seem like I was forcing God on you or like, you know, because of where I'm at.
Right.
So I was praying to God. I was like, God, just have your own encounter with her. And I was thinking it was still going to come from me, like you going to church with me, right?
Oh, goodness.
So listen, I took her to church or whatever. Then I seen her crying in church. I said, okay, God. Right. So I'm like, okay, she, you know, feeling it at least, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
So, you know, fast forward. After church, we go to Legacy, which is where she eating now. Cause
I was crazy.
I put her on.
Yeah.
But we went out to eat with some of my friends from church. And what's crazy is I started feeling kind of weird, like in the place or whatever. So I went outside. We were almost done eating. I went outside to sit in my car. And Tavy went to go pay for her food, and she came outside, and she got in the car, and she was crying. And I was like, what is wrong? And one of the girls that I knew from church talked to Tavy. I didn't tell her nothing. I didn't talk to her nothing.
Yeah.
And Tavy was she was telling Tavy, like, what she needed to hear. Like, it was God. Like, what she tell.
Okay, so my side of the story. Basically, first of all, before I get to my side, anytime when me and Maya plan to go to church together, because, like, you know, I be having, like, college stuff sometimes, or, like, she be busy, she be having, you know, family stuff going on, so I'll watch it online or something like that. But anytime we plan to go together, it's like, I asked her, she's like, I was just thinking about asking you, like, that's crazy how we got on the phone today and started talking about church, because, okay, let's go.
About to text you and ask if you
like,
want to go.
She really was. And so, okay. So, like she said, I go to church with her, we go get food, we went to Legacy. And so we get to Legacy, right? And I'm, like, with her friends. And she was, like, praying, like, she was just feeling
and
like...
none of these people knew her.
Mind you, none of these people knew me, like... I might have seen them twice, maybe. But they don't know.
That was your first time meeting them, though.
It was? Okay, yeah. So, it was like my first time really meeting them for real. So, it was.
Yeah.
So, my first time really meeting them. And Maya was like, you know, feeling type of way. So, she had went in the car. She's like, you know, just pay for our food, stuff like that. While you were gone, right, you were in the car. There's a girl that she don't even know at all. Like, she barely knew her, but she definitely ain't know me.
Yeah, I knew of her, but I didn't really know her.
Right. She knew, Yeah. But she really didn't know me. And you were gone, and she's like, you know, like, what's your gift? I was like, huh? Like, because I wasn't aware. So she's like, what's your gift? I was like, I don't know. Like, I don't even know if I really have one. Like, honestly. Yeah. And even Elijah, he asked me, he's like, how you feeling? I was like, why are they asking me? I was like, in my head, I'm knowing me. I'm just like, why are they asking me this? So he was like, first he was like, oh, how you feeling? Like, you know, how you feeling? I was like, well, I feel good. And I'm like, and I told him the truth. I was like, I was away from God for a minute. Like, it's like, I'm glad to, you know, really just get back into, like, God for real. Like, getting back on my journey. And then she had asked me, like, what's my gift? And I'm like, didn't understand. She came next to me. And I had expressed, like, some family stuff that was going on, like, with my mom. And she came next to me and started praying. She came next to me, talking to me, like, she's like, God told me, like, there's a question on you. Like, there's a question mark on of, like, because I don't know if I really ever told you this, but she was like, yeah, so she was like, there's a question on you, like, a question mark, like, on if, like, on your journey. Like, I think she's like, it was your journey or, like, my gift or something, like, if I'm aware. She's like, there's a way of, like, you being aware. Like, it's like, you don't really, God doesn't know what path you're finna be on yet. Of, like, okay, how aware I was, I guess, in a way. Like, because I was just unaware of, like, what was going on, like, gifts and stuff like that. So she's like, oh, like, he you know, he got you. Like, you have to believe. And she's like, everything's gonna be okay. And then I was like, I expressed about, like, my family stuff with my mom. And she got next to me and, like, prayed on me. And when I tell you, I start bawling. Like, she did not know nothing about me, nothing about, like, my family stuff that was going on. And when I tell you, I start crying. I was like, oh, my God. Like, that was crazy. And even when I left, I was like, oh, my goodness. Like, I dropped my tears and whatever. She's like, everything's going to be okay. Like, you know, don't worry. I was like, how she even, you know, like, it was just like a shock. Like, how do you even know, like, like the worry that was on my mind, or like what I was thinking about, or the feelings I was having. So it was just a crazy experience. And when I got into Maya, I was like, Maya, there's no way.
Like I tell you, y'all
and
probably
like Maya know me. Like,
listen, the way I was acting, I know she was looking at me like, why are you smiling?
No,
like, listen, I'm gonna tell you how.
Like, even the type of person.
Katie gets in the car and she's talking to me, but I could tell she about to cry. So I'm kind of like, girl, what's wrong with you? A little bit at first.
Right.
Like, what happened? Did one of my friends say something to you? Like,
right.
So she's talking, and she tells me what the girl said to her, and I'm just sitting there like, for real?
She was smiling.
I was like, oh my God. I was really like, and she crying, and I'm looking at her smiling like, oh my God. I'm crying, and cause I'm thinking about the prayers that I prayed, and I'm telling y'all, God answered that prayer. I'm telling you, I'm sitting there like, cause I remember I was in the driver's seat, like they ain't have my seatbelt. I'm
like looking at me just like this.
And I remember telling you like,
right.
I ain't even crying. I'm not going to cry.
No, literally.
I'm happy because I told her like, God answered my prayer because I told him that I wanted you to have your own encounter with him, not because Maya go to church, or Maya doing this.
Right.
I wanted you to know him for yourself. So I'm like, oh shoot, I'm really sitting there. I'm telling you, I was cheesing.
Like. When I tell y'all, I get in this car, so I think I stopped crying or whatever. Like, I got in the car, but like, you know how when you cry and you can't talk and you trying to talk? That was me. So I was like, I can't. So I'm like, Maya. And she's like, what? Like, what's wrong? Like,
I'm like,
she's like, what happened? Like, are you okay? I said, like, the girl that was in there, like, she talked to me.
Mm-hmm.
And she's like, what you mean? And she like got happy. She's like, what you mean? I was like, she was talking to me like stuff like she didn't even know.
Baby, I know you thought it was crazy the way I was.
No,
like
I was
stuff
like, no, she really was like that, and like stuff like she didn't even know, or like stuff about me, like asking me questions. I was like, Maya, like that was a crazy.
But that like that showed me something too, because like I know that everybody has gifts. They just have to find them. Like they just have to, and it be stuff that you never thought would be a gift.
Mm-hmm.
So I know that I have certain gifts, and I know that everybody else has certain gifts. But that showed me too, like I may not be able to reach. I might not be able to reach you, but there's somebody who can. Mm-hmm. Like even if you're my cousin,
mm-hmm.
but like I can bring you around people who can reach you.
Right.
Or I could bring you around community that can pour into you the same way I can.
Right.
So it's like, I don't have to always be the person that does it.
Right.
Like, God know how to get to you.
Right.
If you want to get to you,
and and that's why I said earlier, God will use people you don't even know. People that might not be saved or whatever.
He had me pray for a random waitress.
You had told me. Yeah, you had told me.
When I tell you I cried, y'all, I was scared. I was like, God, I don't know this lady. I don't know this. Well, I don't say lady. She probably was in her 20s.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, I really cried.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, God, I've never done this before. I've never like prayed for somebody I don't know.
Right.
I don't know her. She gonna think I'm crazy.
Mm-hmm.
But I knew that something was wrong. You know how you could just feel that something's wrong with somebody?
Right.
Like, I could literally feel that she was going through something.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, but what if I don't pray? What might happen to her?
Right.
Like, what? I don't know. She could have been having suicidal thoughts. She could have been, like,
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, dang, if I wouldn't have.
Like, you never know.
And it's like, I haven't talked to her since then. We don't talk to her.
And that's the thing. With the girl that was, her friend, I have not seen this girl. No, y'all. That was the first and the last time I see her. I ain't seen her. I remember her name to this day, though.
Yeah.
But I have not seen her. I have not seen her nowhere. Haven't talked to her. I was like, oh my God. Like, y'all don't understand. Like, I was shook. Because, like, mind you, me and Maya be talking and we be having conversations about God and just, like, about life in general. But the way this girl just, like, it was like
told you what was on your
told me. Like, it was a determination that, like, I've never felt before. Mm-hmm. And it was just like, wait a minute. Like, what are you talking about? Like, how do you know? Oh, like, to tell me, like, everything's fine.
That happened one day when I went bowling with my friends, and one of my friends, Mac, we love Mac.
Right.
He was praying over me,
This is probably going.
And when I tell you that boy was saying everything that I hadn't told nobody, I said, listen, because me, I'm the type of person, like I said, like I would always, or at the time, I would always try to hide my own feelings and just kind of suppress them and just kind of like, you know, and be happy for everybody else. When I tell you, Max started praying over me, and he was calling out like everything that I was feeling. Like I was feeling like I wasn't good enough. I was feeling insecure. Like I was feeling all of that. And he was saying all that stuff, and I hadn't told nobody about it. I said, God, you just gonna tell her my business? No. But in reality, I really needed it though. Like I really needed to be seen and know that God knew what was going on in me. And ever since then, God taught me how to love myself for real. Like God really just taught me that you're good enough. You're more than good enough.
Right.
And you have me because I already know how to love you. What better person to teach you how to love yourself than God?
Honestly. And even if you're still like learning that, how to love yourself, you're going to go through things, go through your experiences and your tribulations. But like at the end of the day, God's going to be the person that loves you. God's going to be the person there when you're crying. God's going to be the person there telling you like, man, I done told you leave this man alone. I done told you. Like, God is there in any form. He's the person that's going to love you. He's your best friend. He's the person that's there. He's the person that's going to tell you when you're wrong, too. He's the person that's going to teach you a lesson when you need to be taught a lesson. Like, he's the person there. And I feel like I really, like, experienced that myself and learned that. That, like, it's like, you got to stop what you're doing, like, for real. Like, you have to stop being stuck in your ways and stuck in this type of mindset and don't be accustomed to like what other people are doing, especially in college or that like you get wrapped up in so many different things and then you learn like, wow, that's not even me. That's not even what I want to do.
Yeah.
So
this is a good conversation.
It was.
But this video is 45 minutes long, so I don't even know if I'm gonna record at U-City no more.
But it could just be cut short with us talking.
Yeah. This is good. This is God intended because I didn't even start filming earlier.
No, for real. Until you brought it up, I was like, no, like you should. So, yeah.
Look at God.
Right.
But I got to come up with some more content. Y'all, please help me come up with some more content because it's hard. I'm beginning. I'm just starting. I need help. And I know I can have conversations. Let me know if y'all want some more stuff like this. I like hearing your point of view though.
Really?
Yeah. God can use anybody.
Yeah.
God can show up in any way.
He can.
And he gonna do what he said he gonna do.
Amen.
In Jesus' name.
We pray.
Amen.
Amen.
All right, y'all. Peace. Because I don't know if I'm going to keep filming. Honestly, this is 48 minutes long. It's a long video. Deuces.